Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're all well. I didn't know where to film today, and I know for most of you this isn't exactly the prettiest sight, but I think the meaning of the video is more important than what's being shown in the background. Um, what I wanted to talk about today is education and my views on education in general. And like children's education, from the time they're young till they graduate. I don't have children. I probably never will have biological children. I'm definitely not too old, but I'm going to be 35 this year, and I don't have the best quality of life at the moment, but it's really nothing that can't be fixed. And I'm not an expert or anything. I'm just talking about my own experiences. Why I would not send my children to school. And I'm not saying education is not important. I would homeschool my children if I had them. And it's definitely different for different families. It just depends on what works for you and your kids. But when I was really young, school did not do me any justice. I was behind, and the teachers didn't want to put the effort into helping me. They just get me to draw or do something that wasn't even important. They just seemed to focus on the kids that were on like a higher level. And I think that's pretty sad, because the kids who are on a lower level, they need the most help. And I'm not trying to compare teachers. There's a lot of good and bad teachers out there, but from my own experience, from kindergarten to grade 4, it was just not good. And I'm not going to explain the reasons why. It's just that it was not good at all. And when I went to move in with my dad, they weren't really aware of my past education, and they gave me work that was just too hard. I didn't know how to understand it. And they made me feel pretty stupid because, they put this work in front of me, and I'd never seen it in my life. I know nothing about it. And they always said, oh, you can do it. You just don't want to do it. And that was not the case. I was never taught how to do it. And I just continued to feel pretty pathetic. And it was not a good feeling. I felt just so alone. I felt in the dark all the time. From pretty much age 6 to, the second year I lived with my dad, I started, learning a little bit, but still I was not where I should have been, education-wise. And it was just still difficult for me because of my home life, not just my school life. And where I come from, elementary starts from kindergarten to grade 7. We don't have any middle schools. High school starts at grade 8 and ends at grade 12. So, but anyway, I just felt like I was being bullied and people just didn't understand, and my family didn't seem to understand that, I needed help. Like, a lot of help. And it's not because I was dumb or anything. I was never taught. The teachers never put effort into it. And I'm not going to lie and say that I was perfect either, because I definitely wasn't, but I was a kid. And it was their job to make sure that I was learning and they weren't doing their job at all. So, yeah, it wasn't a very good time in my life. And, I was being picked on not just by the students but the teachers. And that started in kindergarten when I was in my different school. But I was held back from school. Like, I was held back. I didn't go to kindergarten until I was 6. And the first year I lived with my dad, he asked them to hold me back a year. And I don't know if that was a good or bad thing, but it definitely didn't really do me any justice. Like, it wasn't bad, but at the same time it wasn't good, I don't think. But I think that he was just doing what he thought was best because of my level. But, and like, that's the thing is, people compare grades. And, it's not right. Like, sure, getting good grades is excellent. But grades are not everything. Like, I think that if you learn something, that's more important than the actual grades. They even say that on Little House on the Prairie. And that's true. I remember being in school and the kids who got A's and B's, their grades were up there. And the kids like me who got lower grades were up there too. And it was like, I felt like they were kind of like shaming me and the other kids who were on lower levels. And it was just not I don't know why that teachers shouldn't do that. It should be something between, the teachers, the parents, and the children, not for the world to know. It was definitely embarrassing, and, yeah. But the good thing is, when I got into high school, I started learning a little bit more because I was getting older and not too many years until young adult years. But even though it was better for me, in ways it wasn't, because even in high school they made me feel like crap. Like, there's nothing wrong with learning how to do things, but they just got me to do things that only the kids with, again, lower levels, they just got me and a few others to, I don't want to say they're dirty work, because it is learning, but because I was on a lower level, they thought, well, yeah, put dumb Amanda on this job to do it, like, and I shouldn't say that they thought I was dumb, but I always thought that they thought I was dumb. And for me or anybody to feel that way, it's just completely heartbreaking. It's not right. And I remember them still giving me work I didn't understand. And why? Like, why am I even here? I was thinking to myself. But it really got quite decent for me in grade 10 and 11, because we had a teacher's assistant, and I knew her when I was little. And she was quite an amazing person. So she actually is the reason why I actually graduated. I graduated when I was in the 11th grade because of my age. And, I mean, it's not bad being 18, almost 19, graduating. I did not want to stay in school another year, and I had the choice, but, you know, I was a young adult. I did not want to be in high school. But, another thing that I forgot to mention, in the 3rd grade, my parents actually did homeschool me for 1 year. And they got a nice lady in town to teach me. I went to her house. And my parents seen that, you know, I really improved. I was never the kind of kid to learn when there's a lot of people around. I don't know if that's, you know, an illness or whatever it is, but that's just how it was. You know, so. But anyway, I've seen how things are with other kids as well, and thankfully in Canada, teachers can't whack the students anymore. Not even in my day they did that. My parents probably would have went down there and done damage to them if they ever done anything like that to me, but in a lot of countries they still do. I know a lot of places in America do, and it shouldn't be allowed. And there's a difference between disciplining and abuse. But anyway, homeschooling would be the best option for me when I was a kid. Like, I think that if I stuck with being homeschooled until at least high school, then, you know, things would have probably been different for me today. And because of the lack of education, it put me behind so much. And it's really not fair, because even till this day, I'm not good with money. My spelling is pretty good, but like the punctuations and things like that, yeah, and I don't consider myself dumb. I consider myself to be quite intelligent, even though I had a tough life, and, you know, a lot of us do, and there's people out there who had and have way tougher lives than I had. But I consider myself quite smart in a lot of ways. And I am blessed that I learned more than I ever thought I would. You know, it doesn't matter how old a person is. You learn every day of your life, and you never quit learning. And when I went to college, the fall of 2005, I was 19 years old, and it was like kind of a new beginning. I really liked it. You know, like, it was just really good. Even though I was shy, I had my insecurities. You know, and I didn't stick with the 20-week like, course. Like, one course was 20 weeks. And the other was, I think, 10 weeks. But I was still going to go back into the 10-week one, but I just found, like, things getting a little too hard for me. Like, not hard for me, but the teacher was just not understanding that I lived like a half an hour away, I didn't drive. I had very limited access. And the only reason I actually went to the college was a lady that I know was going there anyways, and her classes were pretty much like the same time as mine, so. But I just started to get like really bad anxiety and just stressing out because all the time the teacher was bugging me about it. It was like, it wasn't right because, as I just mentioned, I did not drive. And I definitely wasn't ready to go live on my own. Like, I wasn't a kid, but life skills, I didn't have the life skills that I needed to make it on my own. So, after 10 weeks, I quit. And looking back, I think that was kind of a crappy thing to do. And I tried college there several times, and it didn't work because of me not being able to drive, and I just felt like I was wasting people's time. And when I moved here, I am a very shy person. I have so many insecurities. I was going to go to the college and that didn't work, and I tried it a few times, and the last time I tried several years ago, I was actually going to do something through the college on the computer, so I'm home. I don't have to take buses, which I hate. But I had to go up to the college and talk to the lady up there that would be helping me through this online. And, I brought my aunt with her to just explain things better. And she gave me a book that my aunt couldn't even understand, and the work from nowadays is different to when she went to school, because she's in her 60s, so things change, and I don't understand why that sort of thing changes. It's pretty stupid. But it was a book, like an English book, because I was going to take English for a month and then do math for a month. But anyway, I called the teacher back several times. I just wanted to let her know that, I don't understand this. How do you expect me to do it and I don't understand it? And I thought having my aunt there to explain things, because I don't always explain myself right. I thought that she'd understand that, I'm on a lower level than that, much lower level. And she didn't even get back to me. I phoned like 4 times. I was beginning to get really pissed off because I wanted this. When I was in high school, they didn't give me a diploma. That is total BS. I worked my ass off to graduate. But I think that in high school they just wanted to get rid of me. And, I'm not saying this because I felt or feel sorry for myself. I just feel it's true. But anyway, in college, when I was doing, gonna do this, upgrading, it was like, I got that treatment before, and why? Like, nobody deserves it. But anyway, my aunt went up there and she wanted to confront the teacher, because, like, she helped me get up there in a meeting and such. She had to take time off work to help me and such, and yeah, she the teacher was nowhere to be found. And my aunt just freaked out. So, but anyway, yes, it's different for everybody. Everybody's on different levels. But before you say, I'm going to send my kid to public or private school, make sure it's a school that you want. Because there's a lot of crappy teachers out there, like I said, that will just treat your kids like they're nothing. But again, there's a lot of good teachers out there too. So from my experience, if I had children, they'd be homeschooled. You know, and if they got into like a higher grade, like high school, you know, if they wanted to go to public school, fine. If, you know, it was working for them, right? So, but I believe that when you're little, you need more help. Not even when you're little, like even me before, I needed a lot of help. But anyway, I'm sure you guys listen to me ramble on long enough, so tell me what you think of this video, and have a great day. Bye.